Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Wednesday. So it's been a while since I have done a anti-haul or what I'm not going to buy type video. And I did one, I think it was last month or the month before, featuring some newer products on Sephora. And today I'm going to tackle Ulta. So, a lot of times Ulta and Sephora do have some products that carry over between the two stores, but oftentimes there are also exclusives to Ulta that are not available at Sephora or any other retailer. So, I think most of this stuff is exclusive to Ulta. I'm actually going to scroll up because these two things here are on my to buy list. So let's just move those up there. And let's talk about some things that recently arrived at Ulta that I don't have an interest in at all. And I'm going to give you guys my reasoning. There are a couple of things that I was and maybe still am or can be tempted by, but I'm going to try to refrain. So, but I'll give you guys my reasons for putting them on my, you probably don't need this list. Okay. I'm going to get started up here with the new Too Faced Natural Lust Naturally Sexy Eyeshadow Palette. Okay, so this is $59. And first off, I have to say, as a brand in general, I think I'm kind of over Too Faced, which feels almost hard for me to say because honestly, I have been buying Too Faced products for the longest time. I mean, back when they still had, you remember when they had that, like, the silhouette of the girl with, like, the flippy ponytail? Like, I remember it buying the products when they had that packaging. I just find, honestly, there's a couple reasons. First, I find that Too Faced just does the same thing over and over again. Like, they have the same eyeshadow palettes over and over again, especially when it comes to like holiday or limited edition releases. Another thing that I don't like is that so a lot of their products are geared towards, maybe kind of a younger crowd, like cutesier products that have like Jared's little dog on the packaging or something like that. Just very cute things that, a younger girl, maybe a teenager or maybe even younger would be attracted to. But then they come out with certain things like the Erica Jane collaboration that they recently came out with, that just are like really inappropriate in a lot of ways. And I am not a prude. Like I like the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I like Erica Jane. But I don't want, like, I would not want my teenage daughter to ask me for the DSL lip kit. I think I would be horrified, especially if she didn't know what that meant and asked me and I had to tell her. I feel like they try to go both ways, where they appeal to like a younger crowd and then they also come out with things that are super provocative that are really only appropriate for adults. So I guess I don't really understand what direction Too Faced wants to go in. I feel like pick a side, if you want to have the DSL lip kits, then feel free. But I don't know. I don't like how they mix things up. But for these three products that you see here, so this eyeshadow palette, this contouring and highlighting palette, and then this bronzer duo thing here, there's a few reasons. Okay, let's talk about the eyeshadow kit. First off, I'm pretty sure I've had like 2 or 3 holiday kits which had these exact same eyeshadows, maybe slight difference. This just seems like a repeat for them. Like it's cute. And I guess if you don't have a larger collection of eyeshadow palettes already, this might be a good thing to invest in because the price point isn't terrible for the amount of shadows that you're getting. But I just don't find the quality to be that great. The only Too Faced eyeshadow palette that I have left is the Natural Matte eyeshadow palette. I think the quality of those shadows is incredible, but I find with stuff like this, the quality is just not there anymore. It seems very mass-produced. It seems like the same warm shades over and over again, maybe with like a pop of color, you know, tossed in there, but, you know, and then the standard black. Like, it's just, this is not creative to me anymore, and so yeah, I'm gonna skip out on this. Also, this here, I feel like this whole like chocolate thing, I'm kind of done with it at this point. I do think the packaging is cute, but honestly, when you buy a contouring and highlighting palette like this, really truly, you're probably only going to use one or two of the highlighting shades. You're probably only going to use one or two of the contour shades. So that means that if you are in the light to fair department, you're probably going to be about here and here, or here and here, if you're going for a more dramatic look. But you're probably not going to get any use out of these shades. Now, in fairness, you could probably use them as eyeshadows, but I don't know. I don't do that. I always say, oh yeah, if I don't use it on my face, I'm going to use it on my eyes. I don't ever do that. So for me, this is definitely a pass. As cute as it is, it's 44 bucks. And yeah, I'm just kind of over this chocolate bar thing that they have going on. And I'm never going to use these two shades. Truthfully, I'm probably only going to use this and probably that. Not paying 44 bucks for that. Okay, and then the last thing here, not to like totally bash on Too Faced, but the Natural Lust Satin Dual Tone Bronzer. And this is just a general thing here, I don't have luck with these dual tone bronzer situations. I never really have. Physicians Formula is famous for doing stuff like this. I usually find that, one, they are much too shimmery for me. And this shade of bronze would turn orange on me in a heartbeat. It looks kind of orange in the pan, but then to top it off with this like shimmer peacock over here, no, that's not good for me. My oily skin makes everything turn orange to begin with, so I have to start with really cool toned products so that they like warm up to look bronzy. But this would not work for me at all. Plus it's $34, and quite honestly, take a look at the drugstore. I'm guessing you're going to find something very similar from Physicians Formula for like 15 to 20 bucks. So I'd give that a whirl first. All right, the Lime Crime online only software blush soft matte. The shade here is Dark Web. I thought the color was really pretty. It's obviously way too dark for me, but this kind of, I chose this for a specific reason. One, I don't use cream products like this. Now, this is a cream to powder type product, but I find even with cream to powder type products like this, my skin is too oily. That will melt off of my face. It's going to end up on my jawline by the end of the day. I just don't do cream products, to be totally honest with you guys. I don't even wear liquid foundation. Things melt with oily skin, and apparently I have an excessive amount of body heat as well. This would just go sliding down my face for sure. So I have had people ask me why I don't use cream blushes or, you know, cream to powder type products. This is the reason why. It doesn't stay put on my face. So for me, this is a miss, although they do have some fun colors in this. By the way, I'm going to link everything down below. If you want to go read up more about these products and you decide they're good for you, and you buy them, please come back and tell me what your thoughts are. So I'll link everything down below for you so that you don't have to go hunt it down. Okay, next is the Pure Online Only. And this is a thing with Ulta. They have a lot of like online only products I'm noticing, which is fair because you can't have everything on the store shelves. But so this is online only. This is their Festival eyeshadow palette, and it's $36. I have to say that Pure does have very fair pricing for their eyeshadow palettes. You're obviously getting a pretty decent selection here. This is just a colorful eyeshadow palette. Plus, once again, it leans much warmer than what I tend to gravitate towards. I think this is very fun, but this is just not me. In the past, I would have seen this and said, oh my god, look at those pretty colors. I love jewel tones. But you know what? I don't wear a whole lot of jewel tones. This would be a waste of $36 for me, as pretty as it is. I'm probably not going to wear a ton of these warm shades. This I would maybe wear once a year. This I wouldn't wear at all. This maybe on my lid at Christmas. This no, most of it no. Or only on very specific occasions. And it's just not worth it for me to have a $36 eyeshadow palette sitting in my collection. I've decluttered oh, speak of the devil, look up here. Too Faced. And now I totally got distracted. I've decluttered so many of my eyeshadow palettes, and, you know, I'm very careful about what I bring in now. And I cannot bring any more stuff like this in here. Wow, I spend so much time on these videos, it's ridiculous. It's already 9:26. Okay. This is, I added this mostly, so this is new from Becca. You might be interested in this if you love setting mists. This is the Skin Love Glow Shield Prime and Set Mist. It's not even actually released quite yet, but it's $32. I've gotten some questions on specifically my foundation tutorial videos, why I don't use a setting spray afterwards. I want my skin to look matte. The most that I want is a satin finish, and usually by the time that I get to like 2, 3 in the afternoon, I am at satin finish status because my natural oils come through. And most of my powder foundations look really pretty after about an hour or 2. I admit that they start out looking very matte, but I don't like setting sprays. I never have. I find that a lot of them make me break out, and I find that a lot of them give me a much dewier look, even if they are meant to be like a quote-unquote matte setting spray. They look shiny on my face, and I don't want a shiny face. I feel like I say this so much. Hi, Marlene. Sorry, I don't know how to stop those from popping up, so okay, get a look at my mail here. Yeah, I don't like a shiny face. It's not my thing. I'm not a fan, and I would not use this. But if you are a fan, this one's coming out, and if you like Becca, there you go. Okay. This just kind of seems weird to me. It's the Bright Unicorn Dry Shampoo Paste. So this is actually supposed to like volumize your hair a little bit, but it just looked weird to me. I might see if they have it in store and see if I can maybe test the texture of it if they have a tester out. But I don't know. As far as dry shampoo goes, I would rather do the spray-on kind. But maybe this is just like the newest thing. And, you know, this might be how all companies do it in a year from now. But yeah, this just seemed odd to me. Okay, so this is online only. Again, the Naked Reloaded Mother's Day kit. Okay, I chose this. It's $74, by the way. So if you are looking for a Mother's Day gift, that's cute. But I specifically chose this because you guys will have noticed that I really have not purchased anything from Urban Decay in a while. This is another brand I feel like I have outgrown. I just don't like the formulation of the eyeshadows. I've decluttered every single Naked palette at this point, even the original one. This new one is kind of their replacement for the original. Honestly, I thought the original layout was better, but I don't know. I guess you have to mix things up after, you know, you've had a product out for years and years. I really do think that Urban Decay was like kind of the first to start this whole like eyeshadow palette like obsession, especially with neutrals. But yeah, I've discovered over time I just don't like the formula. I find a lot of the shadows to be very dry. I find the ones that have a lot of like shimmers or glitters in them to just not stay put on my eyes, and I usually have a lot of fallout, especially throughout the day. And it's just not for me. So this is a big pass for me, although I do think it's cute to have like a Mother's Day packaging like that. I don't know. Maybe your mom. This is the Disney Villains ColourPop collection here. I know a lot of you really like ColourPop stuff. I'm sure if you like this stuff, you've already seen this. But this was more of like a, hey, this is out type of thing. But yeah, it's not for me. Once again, you're seeing a lot of brights in here. I wouldn't wear most of these things. And I also have to say, I am not a collection person. Like when any brand comes out with like some limited edition, like Hello Kitty, or for example, Disney Villains, or like Minnie Mouse, or, you know, Beauty and the Beast, or whatever type of collection, that doesn't grab me. That does not pull me in at all, mostly because I don't really have a connection to any of these things. Like, I don't have a connection to Disney. I've never really, even as a kid, I was not a cartoon person at all. I preferred watching things like This Old House and like HGTV. I mean, I was like 11, 12 watching that stuff with my mom or watching QVC. Cartoons, not really my thing. I think I remember liking the Smurfs when I was like younger and growing up in Germany, like 6 or 7. And I liked Pippi Longstocking, but like other than that, this just isn't something that draws me in. Okay, normally I actually really like these Smashbox kits. So for those of you that like this color layout or this color story, this might be a good one to check out because you do get a gloss with it and it's 29 bucks. These palettes are amazing. If you find a color story that you really like, I would really suggest picking them up. They're beautiful. The formulation is fantastic. Smashbox has a great eyeshadow formulation. But this color layout, it's meant to be like an ode to like the 70s. And I do get like a total 70s vibe from it. But I'm not into this at all. It's, once again, a little too warm for me. Okay, here we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera eyeshadow palette. This is a big no-go for me. One, too much color yet again, and two, too many warms. I feel like Anastasia repeats a lot of the very similar shades as well. So a lot of these I feel like I have seen in some of the other palettes. They may not be the exact eyeshadow, but like a version of that. So yeah, like these kind of baby pukey colors, I feel like those are in a lot of their palettes. And for 45 bucks, I'm just not into it. Also, did they raise the price on these? I think I remember these being like $42 in the past. I'm not sure what happened there. I haven't done a whole lot of research on why the price increased, but I'm pretty sure that it's a couple bucks more than what it used to be. So if you know, let me know down below so I don't have to waste my time looking it up. Okay, this was one of those products that I immediately was like, oh, it's so pretty. I like the packaging. I want to have it, but I'm not going to buy this. One, it's a highlighter. I'm not going to use this. I'm not even going to use this on my eyes, but this packaging just totally got me. And I love when brands do like a texture on their powdered products. Something about that really appeals to me. But this is $39. It seems like a lot of money for a highlighter from Smashbox, but I guess part of what you're paying for is this gorgeous like jewel encrusted top here, which I just kind of want to touch it. But if I see this in store, I will definitely pet it for a minute and then I'm going to walk away because I don't need to look at this. It's pretty. I have other pretty things I can look at. I can look at my pretty dog who is currently asleep at my feet here. Okay. I do have one drugstore item here. This is the Wet n Wild Rebel Rose Color Icon eyeshadow quads, the House of Thorns. There's also one other one, I believe. I have to admit, I have not bought anything from Wet n Wild in a while. I don't find them really to be inspiring anymore. Although I will say, if you are on a tighter budget, as far as like the most affordable, like inexpensive drugstore eyeshadows that I would recommend, I would say the Wet n Wild formula is one of the best. I think NYX also has a really nice eyeshadow formula as well. So if you're on a tighter budget, definitely check those out. But I gotta say, now that I'm using things from Viseart and Marc Jacobs in terms of eyeshadows, I have trouble going back to this. I've decluttered a lot of my drugstore eyeshadows because they're just not the same as what I get from Viseart. There is a blendability, there is a stay put factor, there is a just overall like the way that the shadows wear, the way that they look, the way that they blend, like they're just perfection. And I'm just not getting that from these, although it's kind of a neat collection. If you're interested in it, it's available at Ulta, so you can check it out there. And then this is my, every video I feel like has to have a Tarte rant. Okay, so Tarte now came out with this like Sugar Rush line, which I think is geared more towards like a younger crowd. The products are supposedly a little bit more affordable. Although I will say a lip gloss is still 15 bucks. I can tell you that at 12, 13 years old, I could not afford a $15 lip gloss. I was still buying Bonnie Bell at that point. There's nothing wrong with that. I had a great time with my lip smackers and my Bonnie Bell, lip glosses. But I feel like the price point is still kind of off on this, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. First off, the products do look a lot cheaper. Um, and this is $95 for all this stuff. Granted, you're getting full-size stuff in here, but it's just, I don't know. It kind of bothers me that they are now trying to cater to a younger crowd. And I don't know why it bothers me, to be totally honest with you guys. I feel like a lot of the marketing stuff, though, it feels like companies are trying to get a hold of people when they're younger and younger, and it just seems like very aggressive marketing. And I can already tell you that my daughter very much buys into it, and it's a struggle for me to teach her that, you don't have to have every single pretty thing that you see. This is a trap that I fell into for a while. I mean, you guys have seen my declutters. Like, I have bought a lot of stuff that I really, truly didn't necessarily need. Even if I didn't do YouTube, but like, I didn't need these things. But you know, I wish that companies would kind of slow down on like the aggressive marketing tactics like this, because it very much is like, it's very cute. It's very like appealing to like a preteen or like a teen to buy stuff like this. And kids can spend their money on whatever they want. If they earn money doing chores or whatever, definitely, spend your money on what makes you happy. But I just hate that companies are so aggressive about targeting kids these days with this kind of stuff. But I don't know. I guess that's just the way it goes when you have progress. But it does kind of bug me. Not that I'm that old, I'm 40, but I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and I just feel like the marketing wasn't as aggressive back then, and I didn't feel as much pressure to get all of the things, Every once in a while there was something like the hyper color. Do you guys remember that? Or what were the shoes? The LA Gear. Oh my God, do you guys remember LA Gear or Jordache jeans? Like, every once in a while, like, I would be sucked in by that, but it just didn't feel as aggressive back then. It feels very aggressive now. Anyway, it's 9:38 as indicated up here, so I'm going to go. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch today. Let me know your thoughts on some of these things here. Are you going to be picking these up? Why? Let me know. And if you have picked up either of these two products, will you let me know what your thoughts are? And this just, oh my God. Stella and I both want to try this, talk about like marketing here, but yeah, this just looks amazing. I will link these both down below as well. You can go read up about them. This Saying Coconut Cream Body Souffle, just, oh my God. And the second I saw that, I was like, get on my skin. I'm going to definitely try these two out, and I'll let you guys know how they go. But anyway, thanks so much for taking the time to watch. You guys are awesome. Please subscribe if you're new, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.